Welcome to today's episode of Aman's Unfiltered, where we dive into important topics that shape our lives and our communities. I'm your host, Aman Kalra, and today we're discussing a subject that's both deeply personal and socially significant. We're tackling the complex and often heated topic of gender identity and its impact on society. It is a deeply personal and intricate component of an individual's self-conception. For many people within the Asian communities, exploring and expressing their gender identity can come with unique challenges and pressures. Today, we'll navigate through these experiences, offering insights and support for both individuals, their families, and whoever might be going through these tough waters. So, to explore this topic further, I'm thrilled to be joined by Anjana Ghogar, a passionate advocate for gender identity and equality. Auntie Anjana is a dynamic individual who wears many hats. She's a camp coordinator, an inspiring teacher, and a vibrant personality known for her wit and love for life. A natural entertainer, some might say, she adores dancing and is even carving her path as an emerging actress. With her colorful personality and zest for life, she brings a unique and lively perspective to our conversation today. Hi, Auntie Anjana. How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How does it feel being on my podcast?
I'm honored, and I'm also quite shocked that you approached me for this topic. I don't know if you've heard about me being interested in this topic. I don't know where that came from, but I'm genuinely quite invested.
I think it came about when I called you and talked to you the first time when I told you I was starting this podcast. Remember, I had this conversation with you a few months ago, and I told you the few subjects I had in mind, and this was one of them. And then you had such a strong passion about this particular subject, and I'm like, Auntie Anjana has to be on my show to talk about this. So, to all my listeners, as you know, today's subject is about gender identity and equality. And today I have Auntie Anjana here with me. I'm going to be asking her a few questions. So I hope and I know she will be able to help me and a lot of other people in the society to navigate a few thoughts and maybe some questions that they might have. All right. So my first question for you is, can you share your personal journey that led you to become a strong advocate for gender identity and equality?
I've had some personal experiences. If I go back in memory lane, maybe I was in the 7th grade.
Right.
I was in India. I'd gone with my grandmom to a neighbor's house who just had a baby boy.
Okay.
So in India, there's a custom to celebrate. They call the eunuchs, the hijras in India, to dance, sing, and come and bless the boy and celebrate with the family. And I loved dancing, and it was the first time I saw them so close. And I loved dancing, and I just made eye contact with one of them, and I started dancing. And my grandmom just pulled me back, and she was like half embarrassed, angry.
Oh no.
And I also saw some fear, in her eyes. As if, I was trying to mimic them, and if they get angry, they will curse me, because hijras are known to curse and bless.
Right.
And they have the power to do so. So, but then I kept looking at them, and my nanny said, stop looking at them like that, But I know from within, I was contemplating, even at that age now, when I think that if I could take one of them to Thailand, because the transgender community out here is so well polished, so respected, they're so good in performing arts.
Right.
I said, if I could take one of them and do a makeover, and then they will come back and, convert the rest and show them that the other side of the world, They are people, but they don't need to clap and, curse or bless.
Yeah.
They can go about doing normal jobs. And that was my trigger. From there, I would always. Then when I would go to Thailand for holidays, there if I would, I was staying up north in Mesot, and in my neighborhood there was one. I said, maybe I could take her to India. If I can't get the whole gang, get her. And then, so that was my first hand flow. I mean, at that age, I'm not thinking much, but yet something was flowing towards them.
So was this the experience that reinforced you to believe in the importance of gender visibility?
Yes, if it did not come out so strong.
Yeah.
Right? How would a child of that age
correct
even see and start having at least sown a seed in her mind that there's something needs to be done about this.
At 7, you were 7 when you first saw. Oh, 7th grade.
I'm
okay.
12 years old.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, 7th grade.
All right.
Yeah.
So, since we're talking about the visibility and representation, right? So, in your opinion, why is visibility so crucial for the LGBTQ community, especially within, more conservative cultures, like you just mentioned, right?
Yeah.
And in so many of those in the Asian community or societies itself?
I think when there's no acceptance, then a strong crying out loud expression is needed, to say that, hey, we exist.
Yeah.
We demand the same respect. And we need to, like this new word I heard this time, blend in.
Right.
But before blending in, you have to come out clear that who are we in persona and why we need to blend in.
Right.
So that's what I feel, that visibility is needed to express out loud and clear.
But what if, they are quite out there, they're very open, and they make sure that they are known that, hey, we exist.
Yeah.
But then you have this other group of people who, a lot of people know that they are in the community, they are either lesbian, gays, non-binary, or in the LGBTQ community, but they don't want to tell, like, they don't want to be a part of this activist group or whatever. How can they channel their beliefs?
I guess it also depends what kind of domestication they come from.
Yeah.
Some from childhood have grown up in a community where it's already been there and accepted. So maybe they don't need to. They've been studying in schools, the education system has kind of taken them in. So, and they just go about not being loud about their physical visibility, but they start working on certain niche of theirs that they can strengthen, that will facilitate creating some space they can demand for. But while again coming from a certain background where they were not from childhood itself accepted, so they don't know any other better way.
Correct.
Forget about even them, even us kids or anyone who's not been given attention, has not been listened to, will cry out loud.
Correct.
Will make a fuss. So I think it just depends where they're coming from, what kind of domestication they've had. I also, before you go on, I also want to be, whether we're on the same page of my understanding of transgender.
Right.
Because it's a very general name.
Yeah.
Right. And it took me time to really understand, not that I've done much studies about LGBTQ, but it's more, I feel, a human issue than just about them. For me, being a biology teacher, in love with the mystical marvel of this body, how it works, and can't help think about the creator who's created such a beautiful machine, as well as anything what the creator's created is so amazing. Coming from there, I see transgender as an umbrella name.
Okay.
It's like if a white light just splits into 7 colors like a rainbow.
Yeah.
Yes, violet and red are two ends
with
strong violet frequency and red frequency.
Right.
all the colors in between are shades, right? So I will not say because violet and red are two colors and in between there's a transition. For me, transgender is from male in one spectrum,
right,
and female in the other spectrum. All the rest are the shades and transition in between.
Correct.
So
wow,
it's a big umbrella name, and we think we say that we are like male and female and the rest are transgenders. No, I don't see it that way.
Okay.
We all are in that one bracket, just like white light breaks into rainbow colors. And we accept all shades.
Interesting.
And it's beautiful because of that. And they all merge back into white light. And they come from white light. And it's come from just a space beyond the heart and the mind, this feeling. And I also had another experience I would just like to share.
Sure.
I had gone for scuba diving.
Okay.
To train, and I'm diabetic. So they assigned me a special coach who knew about diabetes, and that coach was a transgender woman. And in 3 days, with her expertise and her compassion, and she was big, and the way she helped me in water and she kind of trained me, I fell in love with her. Got so close, started sharing stories, and then I asked her, what age did you realize that you are? He said she was 17 when she ran away from home because nobody was accepting her. So she ran with the thought that she's going to change her sex.
Right.
And then I said, okay, then when did you do it? She said she never changed. I said, but quite obviously, like visibly, you look. She said, no, I ran that I will make money so that I can change the sex.
Right.
Luckily, I met a good mentor who was a scuba diver who started teaching me to be a scuba diver teacher. And whenever I would be in that world underwater, that mentor coach said, do you ever even look at these different fish and other organisms under the water as what gender they are? And do you even bracket them as beautiful or ugly? Or do you feel that one should fit in like the other? The variety is why people want to scuba dive.
Yeah.
She said, I started feeling the world underneath so beautiful that I would just come out to take some breaths just to go in again.
Wow.
Because I didn't feel judged. But later on, I realized that she said that she was the one who was judging herself more than anyone else.
Yeah.
And she said that's when she thought she's going to do this as a profession, make money. And she got such a strong passion for it, love for it, and compassion she would come out with, that she started training others to become scuba diver teachers. And she said, my whole purpose of just being about my body and just the skin around just got dissolved. And that's changed. She said, I love curves. Like any woman who doesn't have maybe good breast will take some extra silicones and, I said, I like curves, so I just wear things. But I know even if I go against nature, I will not be able to have kids. So I didn't want to go so against nature. Had just basic hormones like some of us women would for other hormonal imbalance.
Right.
And that's it. I like to dress up like girls, but sometimes I like to dress up like I just go with what I feel.
Wow, that's amazing.
I know. And that was a mind opener, heart opener, I would say. It touched my being, And that's when I started feeling that I know so less. And I was quite humbled with that story.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Especially when you view yourself as a person like she did on her own without having to change so much about one's outlook and still be able to feel all that. I think that's amazing. It's the word acceptance, isn't it? That's really important.
It is, but acceptance of not seeking it from outside, from others. I mean, we normally say we want people to understand us. But I feel there's so much in your mind which you need to understand about yourself.
Exactly.
that itself, which is in you, you can't understand, because one minute it makes you feel elated, the other minute it pulls you down, and then you wonder why others are not understanding you. So I think the acceptance should be, and to believe in yourself, you need to dive in deep within yourself to find what are your strengths and what you need to express yourself fully. And then that is what identity is about. And that flavor, that essence, I think anyone will be able to, see beyond just the 3 millimeter skin of yours. And
because I think this works with everything, right? When you don't 100% accept yourself or understand yourself 100%, how can you expect others to do so as well? Right?
And I think when you understand yourself fully, by just natural grace, you will understand others who don't understand you.
Correct.
Also.
Yeah.
Because how will they?
Yeah. Exactly.
So that kind of allows you to blend in without them accepting you, without them understanding you.
Okay.
And that's what I feel. That's what I felt when I met her. So for me, it was just not scuba diving. It was diving into a zone with her, which was amazing. Yeah.
Amazing. Okay. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
So coming from a family and a community dynamics perspective, what do you think are the most effective ways for individuals to seek acceptance from their family while still honoring their own identity?
I think with the same example, I think that said quite a bit.
Yeah.
Not from my perspective, from the person who's been through that, I feel first to understand that to fully believe in yourself, you have to be patient. You're the one who's going through a little bit of a different hormonal, especially the stage of puberty. One should see that stage where everyone goes through difficulties in understanding themselves. Especially for people who are going through this kind of transition, should not be in a hurry to make any clear statement of what they think they are.
Until they are not sure themselves.
Okay, one thing I feel they can do is, even from the story of this lady, to be transparent to your loved ones.
Yeah.
Sharing with them how you have taken so much time since childhood to come out of this confused state. And you're still struggling and you need their help like any child would need in any other areas of confusion, whether it was even at the age of 18 choosing which college you need to go to, which subject to take, not to be just influenced because friends are taking some subject, you take that subject.
Right.
Similarly, this is about life.
Yeah.
So you need to be transparent as well as be compassionate with yourself.
Yeah.
That if they don't understand, not to be in a hurry to seek out other shortcuts or ways that will give them peace. Be patient, find friends and family members who maybe will be able to support them, to be the bridge to talk and to family members to get support. But most important, I feel, is education.
To educate.
Get yourself educated. Put the facts down. Be very clear that this is something not just coming out of a mood of yours or a tantrum of yours or a rebel. It is coming from a space that even you don't understand. There's a bigger force here which is making you consistently feeling that you are not in the right body, maybe, or you're not in the right way of feeling the way other people feel around you.
Yeah.
And they're not alone. There's so many. If they start
so many
talking,
of them. Yeah.
right around the corner, they'll find
support
someone.
Groups and everything.
Yeah, they are. They're not alone in this.
So let me just play a bit of devil's advocate over here. Coming to our society, the Thai Indian society over here, given from your parents' generation and your generation, do you think they have come to a point where they accept if one of their child is either gay, lesbian, bisexual, non-binary? Do you think that there is a way to change that perception in our society, especially within the Thai Indian community? Like for me, as a new age mom, to be fair, I am more exposed to a lot out there. I have a better understanding because it's become a normalcy, right, in our generation. And supposedly tomorrow, if my daughter or my son comes and tells me that, hey, I'm gay or lesbian, I will be more accepting of that. But given your generation or maybe your parents' generation, how would you pivot that conversation? Because you are probably 1 in 1,000 from our community.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. When I bring it up amongst my friends or family, they do find that
what are you talking about?
What are you
Stop
talking
it.
About? But I have another story to share here.
Yeah.
Maybe for the very traditional conservative mind, this might do something.
Okay.
And I also heard it maybe a few years back. And it came at the right time. You've heard of Mahabharata.
Yeah.
You've heard of Draupadi?
Yes.
So Draupadi's father, when he wasn't having any child, he did a lot of penance and a lot of tough rituals. And he asked for a boy. And girl was born.
Right.
It was elder before Draupadi was born. Now he was like, he hid the identity of the girl, dressed the kid like a boy, gave him all boys warrior lessons. He was a king and he made him macho and like a warrior, look like a boy. But soon the rumor was out. The truth came out, and to avoid embarrassment, he ran, fled from home. And to cut the story short, he came back as a transgender, converted to a male. And now he's called Shikandi. But people, he proved to other people that I'm a guy.
Right.
So to put the rumors, but then everybody knew he was born as a girl.
Yeah.
But Krishan approached him that you're very good in war, in the warrior skills you have. You're really good. I want you to come and in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And he said, are you sure? He said, yeah, your skills are amazing. No one's as good as you. So on the same chariot, Shikandi is there, and Arjun and Krishan. Opposite is Bhishma. So when he put the arrow, he said, this person was born as a girl. And he took a promise that he will never, never fight a woman. Even if he's transformed into a male, but he was born as a girl.
Right.
The moment he was distracted in that doubts in his mind, Krishan and Arjun shot him, pinned him down, nailed him down fully. My question here is, when I heard this story, like, Shikandi is there from ancient times. And it's been there, has always been. Maybe once we even get our houses and homes in Mars and space, it'll still be there.
Yeah.
So something like this, if nature has created something as a transition between the so-called extreme male and female, then why are we still so stuck? Why, like Christian consciousness, we cannot just look at the strength of the person, his value, what he can contribute in the society. And they have fusion energies. They could be great psychiatrists, right? They can be great physiotherapists with their body strength. I'd gone for a dance competition in India. One of my contestants was a trans. And I tell you, she danced gracefully like an angel. But when she did cartwheels and she had energy of a masculine energy, she danced best from my judgment. She was the best, but she didn't go through the next round. So of course she was hurt. There was like two parties saying the judgment wasn't fair. And I kind of stood by her, supported her. At the end, the decision which came out was there should be a different category for them. And she was upset. Why? Why can't we be? I've converted into a female. Then even they have to realize they have extra energy. Like in a marathon, you can't have a woman and a man competing in the same marathon.
Yeah.
Different categories. I was 50. I was dancing with the 40s. I asked her, will it be fair if I dance with the 19s? The energy level is different.
Yeah.
So both parties have to understand that there is some uniqueness there.
Yeah.
And that uniqueness is not a choice given. It was like we didn't choose to become in this body or that body, and neither were they given a choice. Uniquely, they've been given a fusion of energy and fusion of masculine and feminine, or whatever they experience. They should be allowed to express it fully. And that's what I would tell to all the traditional people, to go back in history and see that it's always going to be there. Adopt Christian consciousness in looking through just the body and the mind and see what are they here for, what is their role, and give them that niche, give them that respect. Then they will not cry out loud, they will not come out visibly too strong. They will blend in so easily.
When you gave me that example, it reminded me of what happened in the Olympics. That I think it was during a weight where there was a man, transgender woman, and was in the female category. And if you see that kind of a situation, obviously this particular person has ample amount of strength as compared to a female,
of course.
Right? So when you're comparing that kind of situation, and this particular transgender won, right?
Yeah.
And that made the other women feel uncompatible.
Yeah.
So how do you explain like the fairness of that situation?
So that's exactly education system right from the very beginning, as well as creating different niche and categories for them so they can excel, they can perform, they can literally exercise, not underplay or overplay in whichever category they are. They righteously a fair platform for them to express themselves fully.
But there are people who don't accept being segregated as a unique group. They want to be accepted as a woman, but they're transgender.
Yeah.
So how do you make this particular group understand when they themselves don't want to understand that they are unique, they're in a different caliber? I mean, they want to identify themselves as either a woman or a man. That's okay. That's fine by me or anybody else. But then if they're going to come and try to be an equality of the woman gender, how do you navigate through this? It's tough.
It is, like I just said, the experience with that woman who was a contestant in my dance competition.
Yeah.
Yes, she was really upset and she was loud about it. She was abusive. It took time for us to be compassionate to her and to sit her down when I let her put me in the situation and let her see it objectively. She was able to understand.
Yeah.
Then I told her it's not about like LGBTQ or transgender issue. It's a human issue. You just need to be fair, even for y'all to just, y'all are segregating yourself by not understanding the base common sense that why a certain category needs to be created for this kind of competition. So I think it'll take time. But more acceptance they get, I think they will be able to understand better.
Okay.
But again, I always question myself, who am I or who are we that we have to decide which category they also fall into? And why they feel they need acceptance from us.
Right.
Or they need to fit in either this category or that category. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I went to Burning Man this year.
Yeah.
And out there, that's one thing I take back was, out there, the way there were 70,000 people on that place, how everyone just blended. We only saw each other as humans. And it was a 1-week festival there. A lot of transgenders. And that's where I got that word gender blender. And for them, gender blender was not for them to blend only with us, for us to blend with them.
Yeah.
In every activity we did, in anything. It was so beautiful. But I don't know, when you come back to the world, sometimes things are defaulted.
Yeah.
So yes, but I think it's time. I think people are more accepting now. Yes, when it is about neighbors' house situation, they're more understanding and accepting. But when it comes into their
own house, yeah,
they'll have to go through some kind of pain before they evolve.
But there are situations within our community. I have some friends who are gay.
Yeah.
Their parents were very unaccepting, to the point where they had to be like, okay, I'm moving countries. And a lot of them have moved to a more accepting place for their gender identity issues, because their own parents are not accepting. It took their parents about probably 2 decades to be like, okay, you know what? Kar aaja.
Yeah.
I miss you. I accept you now.
Yeah.
Why does it have to come to that point where
Amen.
you've missed your child's 2 decades of beautiful growth just because you cannot accept?
I had a Sardar boy.
Yeah.
He used to come to our sea camps,
Mm-hmm.
and then he disappeared for many years. But like many kids don't come back for whatever reason. He met me in a party when he was around 23, had beard, turban, and I didn't recognize him. So he comes to me and says, Auntie Anjana, do you remember I used to come to camps? And so sometimes we're too many kids, and he just came and hugged me in my ear, said, I'm gay, and I'm proud to say I'm gay. And I was like heart-filled at that time, and I asked him, what made you say it to me? He said, I don't know. And then I sat down with him and asked him how are his parents feeling. And he had tears in his eyes. He said he was feeling pain for them. He said it already took him so much time to come out of this comfort zone, to be able to announce it that I'm proud that I'm gay.
Yeah.
And I'm proud to express it. But parents, and I just told him, you just have to be patient. You have to be understanding. It took you so much time because you had to go through the experience. It's your feeling, your body, you know it. For them, they've seen you grow up as a normal kid. They don't know exactly what's going on in the mind. Because gender, they say, no, it's between the ears. And the shades change. Sex, genitals between the legs, you can identify right away. And forget about even us. I mean, if I look at myself as a growing girl, maybe I was more feminine. Now I've become a little more masculine in the way I think and the way I see life.
I've always been masculine.
And I've seen macho men who would comment on what series are you watching? Or even crying. It's not even real. And now at the stage you'll see their hormones have changed. Their testosterone have died off and the estrogen is playing and they will be tearing.
Yeah.
They've softened, their body language is different. So like when you can transit like that, those have been born with certain hormones which are unique. And one needs to understand yourself first, have belief in yourself. And I don't mind, sometimes you have to go that far. Like an oak, they say that the seed of the oak tree has feathers. It has to be blown quite far away to become another oak tree.
Yeah.
If it grew under the shade of the oak tree, it would not become another oak tree. So sometimes even Buddha, he himself with such beautiful philosophy could not flourish in India till he went out. And then came back. Different thought process altogether at that time. Against the Brahmins, against different schools of thought. So it will take. And you just need to focus on being the best version of yourself. That's what I feel. One's focus should be on that. For everybody, again, when I say transgender, so-called male and female at both spectrums and the shades in between, everyone needs to spend their time to either facilitate and help their family members reach and facilitate the best version of themselves. And And if others are not understanding, at least you be understanding of yourself.
Thank you, Auntie Anjana, for sharing your incredible journey and valuable insights on such a vital topic. It's clear that while progress is being made, there is still much to understand and work towards when it comes to creating a more inclusive and accepting society. For those of you listening, we've only just scratched the surface of this complex and meaningful conversation. Join us in the next episode where we'll dive even deeper into the challenges, triumphs, and actionable steps we can take to foster equality and understanding. Until then, this is Amanpreet Kalra signing off from Aman's Unfiltered. Stay curious, stay kind, and we'll see you back here for part 2.